Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now here's a question I keep asking myself. Am I a cyclist who runs, or am I a runner who cycles? So let's have a bit of fun. First of all, how long does it take me to get ready to go out on a ride? Gilet, bib tights, cycling jersey, long sleeve top. I've also got an inner tube, pump, glasses and tyre levers. So let's see how long it takes to get everything on, to get ready, get the bike and get out of the house. Go. Bibs on. Right. Everything in the pockets. Gloves on. Okay, ready to go. So let's say around about 9.5 minutes it took me to get ready to go out on my bike today. If it was the summer, maybe a bit quicker. How much is it going to cost you to get a decent bike, some decent kit, and to get out on the road? Well, a bike, I think you'd probably be looking around about £1,000. You can get cheaper bikes, but if you want to be serious or semi-serious about cycling, your initial layout for a bike will be around about £1,000. That'll get you a decent carbon machine, maybe group set, probably 105. £1,000 for the bike, some kit, probably about 150 quid for some shorts or bib tights and some jerseys, middle of the range stuff, shoes, helmet, glasses, Garmin, bottles. You're looking at about a Garmin 150, shoes 100, helmet 100. If you manage to get on the road for around about £1,500, you'll be doing all right. And then you've got things like lights, inner tubes, pumps. The list can go on and on. Nutrition bars when you're out, paying for cafe stops, can be an expensive hobby being a cyclist. But once you've got all that together and you're out on the road, what a time you can have. It really is a wonderful thing to be out in the countryside, cycling along on your own or with your mates, whatever you like, just getting out, fresh air and exercise, and exploring the lovely British countryside, or the countryside wherever it is that you live. The downsides of cycling: it takes a lot of time. If you want to be out for a good ride, 2 or 3 hours you're looking. There's expense we've already talked about, and not only the initial outlay but also maintenance for your bike. You can service it yourself, but you'll need to get tools. General wear and tear is pretty high on a bike. When you're out, things can go wrong. Punches, of course, other mechanicals. Might need to phone out for an SOS. There's always a risk that you can come off, particularly at this time of year when the roads are really greasy. But of course, the benefits far outweigh the negatives. Physical and mental health will take a huge boost. It's a sociable thing when you want it to be, and even when you're out on your own, it's just nice to mull over the life and the world in general. Time spent keeping your bike in good working order, keeping it clean. Motivation can get quite low to get out, especially in the winter when it's cold, wet, dark. Lots of people use Zwift now, or indoor trainers, to keep the fitness up year round. Just off out for an hour today. That's all the time I've got. Now that was a VW camper van, old school style. He nearly knocked me off. Mate, I'm just cycling along and this road is full of potholes. I just had to swerve out of the way of a pothole. Okay, so I went slightly more into the centre of the road, but sure, he could have seen that the road was really dodgy and I wasn't going to cycle on the edge like that. Yeah, he came pretty close. I could have tapped on his window. It's great being out on the bike. I really do love it. Forgot to mention about fees to join a club, affiliation fees to British Cycling. That's another few £100. Entering races if you want to race, or sportives. But even on a short ride like this, the bike really can take you to some amazing places. Now let's get back to town ASAP. lights on, let's go. Right, so that's the cycle ride done. Now let's get all these cycle clothes off and let's get dressed into the running kit. And let's go. Just about a minute and a half. Not to mention I've got my running undershorts on as well. T-shirt, bottoms, trainers, all under 5 minutes. And of course, Garmin watch. "5 minutes, half the time it took me to get out on the bike. Expenditure for a runner, trainers of course, and sort of mid-priced, decent enough pair of trainers. I think you're looking at about 100 quid, and then shorts and a t-shirt, not much at all, 20 quid, and then some kind of sports watch, or you could just use your phone. But let's say that you bought yourself a Garmin watch for around about 150. So all in all, everything's going to come in under 300 quid. Not too much really. An investment on your health. The things I like about running, it's quick. You can just get ready, be out on a run, have a good workout, and then get back home and showered, all in the space of an hour. Now, on the bike just then, I did about 22 miles. I was aiming to do 20, so my average was 17, so I hit 20 miles around about an hour and 10 minutes. Not too fast at all, nice and steady. For me, the equivalent of that on a run, just 5Ks for an average pace of around about 8-minute miles. Nice and easy. Zone 2 type stuff. Hey mate. Yeah. He can pretty much run in any conditions. Obviously it's not so pleasant if it's raining, same as on the bike, but you're out for a shorter time, so you can just bash out a 5k home and dry before you get too cold. And another bonus, of course, don't have to worry about cleaning your bike afterwards, or all the maintenance that riding a bike entails. Basically, wash your kit, make sure your trainers are clean and dry. It's a lot simpler being a runner than a cyclist, that's for sure. As far as my running story goes, I was a long-time cyclist and I never even thought about running. And I would see runners on Strava, but wouldn't give them any kudos, or didn't really have too much of an idea about paces. And I guess some people were running 10-minute miles, some were running 6-minute miles, but didn't really mean much, you know. And then I suppose cycling for 15 years seriously, but sort of 5 years ago started to do a bit of running. I think I maybe had a reasonable pair of trainers and hit the roads, but nothing fancy. And probably in a month I'd run like 5 miles or something. Hey, not a lot at all, but got a bit better, started running a bit more frequently, and then sure enough picked up a bit of an injury. I think it was my ankle, and then basically left it alone 2 years ago, I suppose. And various reasons, time, motivation to be out on the bike in the winter, so just started running a bit more frequently. And starting off 7:43 minute mile, started off just doing slow. I wasn't quick at all. I'd be impressed if I could run below a sub 8 minute mile, but slowly built it up, and it's been a bit of a on-off relationship, really, due to picking up injuries, going through this cycle of running, getting reasonably good at it, then picking up a bit of an injury and body not wanting to go out, and then taking a rest, and then getting back into it again, getting reasonably good, injuring yourself. And there is that cycle, and as a cyclist, having reasonable fitness can kind of get quite good quite quick, but also prone to injury. It's that thing about bone density, and as a cyclist I have quite low bone density, so I'm just not used to the impact that running brings. Affordability, accessibility, and speed, or rather time. If you're strained on time, or you don't have much free time anyway, probably not better. A lot better to take up running than it would be cycling. The negatives, well, picking up injuries, much more prone to them as a runner than you are a cyclist, and you don't get out of the town into the country as much on a run as you would do if you were on the bike, so it's a bit housing estates, but there's parks, and you can always drive somewhere very easily and run from there. That's not too much of a hassle. Of course, the social aspects there as well. You meet other runners, park run, join a club. However far you want to take it, really. Getting gloomy now. So I ticked over 5k, just doing a little bit further, boosted up to about 4.5. So ticked over 4.5 miles. Okay, so 4.5 miles, basically 35 minutes, and 7:44 per mile, and it tells me I burnt 500 calories. So 35 minutes. Effort-wise, I would say that was harder. That 35 minutes than the 20 miles on the bike. So push yourself harder, less time. That's the benefits of running.